We use technology to put your money to...
What if I told you that you already have everything you need to be great? That the only thing standing between you and success is the way you see yourself? That the world will only believe in you to the extent that you believe in yourself? Act as if you are the best. Walk into every room like you belong there. Speak with the confidence of someone who has already won. Train your mind to know, without a doubt, that no one is better than you. Not because you think you're perfect. Not because you have all the answers, but because you refuse to let doubt hold you back. Because you know that's reserved for the few. It's claimed by those who decide they deserve it. Desire, the starting point of all achievement. Every great success starts with a burning desire. Not a passing wish, not a vague dream, but an obsession with your goal. The people who win in life don't just want success, they must have it. Their desire fuels them through every obstacle, every failure, every challenge. Take a moment to reflect on the great achievers of history.
How was the drive? Outstanding. See, you got through it. I see you got through it, though. You got through it like a champ. Yeah. So the snow got bad. Good morning, Colin. I'm on the live still. And you're still in and out. So you stopped, right? You stopped and got some rest? Okay, good. Don't. Wait, what? Then how? Alright. You switched out. Okay. Yes. Once you get to Salt Lake, you're gonna be what, 2 hours away? Yes. Okay. And how excuse me. How far are you from Salt Lake? Okay, so you're, let me see. Oh, you're less than about 2 hours. Oh yeah, because you gotta go through Ogden and all that. Go on. You're still on 80. Or is that 84? 70? Is that 70? Yeah, you are on 70. I think. Oh, I thought it was 80. Oh well, you know where you at. Yeah, close your eyes, relax them, because that snow does something different to you when you're driving like that. Right outside Chicago, and it is flowing smoothly because it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm trying to fly right through all this and get to Wisconsin by 10:30. Yes. Yeah, that's straight staying on. It's, we're doing the morning meditations. All right, hit me up later. Get some sleep.
History, people who changed the world through sheer determination and an unrelenting drive. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before he successfully invented the light bulb. Did he wish for success? No, he was obsessed with making his vision a reality. He saw his success as inevitable no matter how many setbacks he encountered. So ask yourself, what do you truly want? Not what society tells you to want, not what seems practical or safe, but what sets your soul on fire. What vision keeps you awake at night? What goal would you chase even if you had to face failure 1,000 times?
What car do I have?
That is your burning
I have
desire. That is
Toyota
the fuel
Sequoia.
that will push you forward when challenges arise. Once you have a goal, write it down, put it on paper, make it tangible. Studies have shown that writing down your goals significantly increases your chances of achieving them. Why? Because it moves them from a vague thought into a concrete target. When you write something down, it becomes real, it becomes a commitment. Then see it in your mind every single day. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools of success. Athletes, entrepreneurs, high achievers use it to condition their minds for victory. If you can see yourself achieving your goal, if you can feel it as if it has already happened, you create an unstoppable momentum. Your brain starts working towards making that vision a reality. But visualization alone is not enough. You must act as if achieving your goal is inevitable. Too many people dream, but few take action. They wait for the perfect time, the right circumstance, or a guarantee of success. But the truth is, success belongs to those who move, who take risks, who stand with unwavering belief. Success is not about luck, it's a commitment. It's about showing up every single day, doing the work and refusing to quit, even when it's hard. Even when you don't feel like it, even when the world tells you it's impossible. Because here's the secret. The moment you decide that your success is non-negotiable, the universe starts aligning in your favor. You will attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances. You will develop the resilience needed to push through setbacks. And most importantly, you will become the person who is worthy of the success you desire. So make the decision now. No more excuses, no more waiting. Turn your desire into an obsession. Write it down, see it, feel it, and then take massive action. Because those who win in life don't just hope for success. They demand it. And they stop at nothing until they achieve it. To faith, believing in yourself when no one else does, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Success is not merely about working hard. It is about cultivating an unshakable belief that you will succeed. This belief is the foundation upon which all great will succeed. This belief is the foundation upon which all great achievements are built. When the will succeed. This belief is the foundation upon which all great achievements are built. When the odds are stacked against you, when the world tells you that you cannot do it, the driving force keeps you insurmountable, but with it, even the most impossible. It's an abstract emotion. It is a choice. Every must wake up and decide to believe in yourself, despite the setbacks, despite the failures, and despite the doubts that try to creep into your mind. It is easy to believe when everything is going well, but true faith is demonstrated when the circumstances seem hopeless. That is when you must stand firm and remind yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I will succeed. The greatest minds in history understood this principle. Henry Ford revolutionized the automobile industry not because he had resources, but because he had faith in his ideas. Oprah Winfrey overcame rejection and hardship, but she persisted because she refused to believe in failure. These individuals did not let the world dictate their worth. Instead, they imposed their belief upon the world, and the world had no choice but to follow. You see, the mind is a powerful tool. It can either propel you towards success or drag you into the abyss of doubt and failure. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you believe you are destined to fail, you will unconsciously make decisions that lead to failure. But if you believe with every fiber of your being that success is inevitable, then your actions will reflect that certainty, and the universe will respond in kind. This is not about blind optimism. This is about aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with your goals. It is about developing an unwavering conviction that success is not a matter of if, but when. Your mind must be conditioned to expect success. When you do this, opportunities will appear where others see obstacles. Solutions will emerge where others see problems. But belief alone is not enough. You must act. You must take bold steps in the direction of your vision. You must persist, even when the results are not immediate. The road to success is rarely smooth. It is filled with challenges, failures, and rejections, but those who keep moving forward, armed with an indomitable belief in themselves, are the ones who eventually reach their destination. Ask yourself, what would you do if you knew, without a doubt, that you would succeed? How would you carry yourself? How would you speak? How would you approach challenges? Act as if you are already successful, and soon enough reality will catch up to your belief. Winners do not wait for external validation. They create their own certainty and force the world to recognize their worth. The truth is, no one else will believe in you until you believe in yourself. No one will invest in your dreams if you hesitate to invest in them first. If you doubt yourself, the world will reflect that doubt back to you. But if you carry yourself with confidence, if you operate as though success is inevitable, you will draw opportunities, allies, and resources toward you like a magnet. In the end, success is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It is not reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It belongs to those who dare to believe in themselves, even when no one else does. The world does not determine your potential, you do. So wake up every day and choose to believe. Choose to act as though you are already a winner, and soon the world will have no choice but to follow. 3.auto suggestion, training your mind for success. The most successful people in history, John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, all understood one fundamental truth. Your thoughts shape your reality. Every invention, every breakthrough, every empire first existed as a mere thought before it materialized into the world. What you believe about yourself, about your abilities, and about your future determines the actions you take and ultimately the life you create. Your mind is like a powerful computer, constantly running programs based on the beliefs you install in it. If you fill it with doubt, fear, and negativity, it will operate accordingly, leading you toward failure and negativity. If you fill it with doubt, fear, and negativity, it will operate accordingly, leading you toward failure and negativity. But if you consciously program your mind for success, if you choose to feed it with confidence, ambition, and certainty, your life will transform before your eyes. Every day you must take control of this programming. The world around you is filled with distractions, with negativity, with people who will tell you that you can't do it. But you must be the one who decides what thoughts take root in your mind. You must actively rewire your brain for success. How? By speaking powerful affirmations, by visualizing yourself, achieving your goals, by training your subconscious mind to expect success. When you wake up in the morning before the day begins, declare your dominance over your own life. Stand tall. Look yourself in the mirror and affirm, I am the best. I am unstoppable. I am destined for greatness. At first your mind may resist. Years of negative conditioning may whisper, but what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Ignore it. Those thoughts are remnants of a past you are leaving behind. Keep repeating your affirmations. Keep reinforcing your belief. Because over time, your mind will accept these statements as fact. And when your mind believes it, your actions will follow. Your thoughts dictate your emotions, and your emotions drive your actions. If you believe you are unstoppable, you will carry yourself with confidence. If you believe success is inevitable, you will persist through obstacles. If you believe you are destined for greatness, you will attract opportunities that others miss. But belief alone is not enough. You must act in alignment with that belief. A champion doesn't just say they are great. They train, they practice, they refine their skills every single day. A successful entrepreneur doesn't just think about wealth, they take calculated risks. They innovate, they outwork their competition. So ask yourself, what would the best version of you do today? How would the most successful you think, act, and carry themselves? Start living that way now, not tomorrow, not when things feel right now. Repetition is the key. The more you affirm, visualize, and act in alignment with success, the more natural it becomes. It shifts from being a practice to being your identity. And once success becomes your identity, nothing can stop. Society will try to impose limits on you, but remember, you control your thoughts. You control your reality. The most powerful weapon you have is your mind. Train it, program it, and unleash its full potential. Wake up every day and declare it. I am the best. I am unstoppable. Because once you believe it, the world will have no choice but to believe it too. 4. Specialized knowledge. Know more, be more. General knowledge is not enough. It is specialized knowledge that creates success. The world does not reward people who simply know a little about everything. It rewards those who become masters of their craft. The highest achievers, the greatest innovators, the wealthiest individuals, they all have one thing in common. They dominate a specific area of expertise. Hard work alone is not enough. Countless people work hard every single day, yet they remain stuck in mediocrity. Why? Because they lack the depth of knowledge required to stand out. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary is mastery. The best in the world are not just those who put in the effort. They are those who sharpen their skills to an elite level. They have an edge that others do not. So what do you need to master? What skill, knowledge, or expertise will set you apart? This is the question that separates winners from the rest. If you want to be at the top of your field, you must possess knowledge that others do not have. You must develop an understanding so deep and refined that it makes you irreplaceable. This requires a relentless commitment to learning. You must study, you must read, you must learn from the best. Seek out mentors, dissect their strategies, and apply their lessons. Read books that expand your thinking. Watch the industry leaders and analyze what makes them successful. Do not settle for surface-level understanding. Go deep, learn the nuances, and master the details. In today's world, information is everywhere. But consuming information passively is not enough. You must take action. Knowledge without application is wasted potential. Too many people read books or attend seminars, yet never implement what they learn. The real power of specialized knowledge comes when you apply it. Test it in the real world. Experiment, fail, adjust, refine. Keep going until your knowledge turns into skill, and your skill turns into mastery. And when you achieve mastery, your value skyrockets. The world pays top dollar for experts. Companies, clients, and customers do not look for generalists. They seek out specialists who can solve their problems better than anyone else. The more valuable your knowledge, the more opportunities will open for you. The more refined your skills, the more indispensable you become. But here's the secret. Mastery is a moving target. You can never stop learning. The moment you think you've made it is the moment you start falling behind. The world evolves, industries change, and new knowledge emerges. If you want to stay ahead, you must continue to grow. The best in the world never stop improving, so commit to it right now. Decide to pursue mastery. Choose a field, a skill, an industry, whatever it is that aligns with your goals. Dive deep. Study relentlessly. Absorb every piece of knowledge you can find, and most importantly, apply what you learn. Let your actions separate you from the rest. General knowledge makes you average. Specialized knowledge makes you powerful. Be the one who knows what others don't. Be the one who has mastered what others have only dabbled in. And watch as the world rewards you for it. 5. Decision. Success belongs to the decisive age. A study of thousands of people who failed in life found one critical pattern. Lack of decision was one of the biggest reasons for failure. The inability to make decisions, the hesitation, the constant second guessing. These are the silent killers of dreams. Opportunities slip away not because people are incapable, but because they hesitate, overthink, and wait for the right moment. Indecision kills dreams. It is the poison that paralyzes action and ensures mediocrity. Every moment spent doubting, analyzing, or waiting for the perfect scenario is a moment lost forever. The most successful people in the world understand this. They make decisions fast and with confidence. They trust themselves, their instincts, and their ability to figure things out along the way. They don't need endless approval or reassurance. They decide, they act, and they adjust as necessary. Look at the greatest leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries in history. They did not wait for permission to chase their dreams. They did not sit around debating every possible outcome. They moved with speed and conviction. Henry Ford revolutionized the automobile industry because he made bold decisions. The difference between success and failure often comes down to a simple choice. Will you take action or will you delay? The world does not reward those who wait. It rewards those who move. The best people in any field don't waste time doubting themselves. They decide, they commit, and they execute. And here's the truth. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have every answer before you begin. You just need to start. Most people think they need more information, more certainty, or more experience before they can take action. But that's a lie. Clarity comes from action, not from endless analysis. The more decisions you make, the sharper your instincts become. The more risks you take, the better you learn to navigate uncertainty. Success. Understand that even a wrong decision is better than no decision. Why? Because every decision leads to learning, to experience, and to growth. Even mistakes move you forward. Fear is not the enemy. Inaction is. The real danger is not making the wrong choice, but making no choice at all. Think about this. How many times have you waited too long to make a decision and lost an opportunity? How many moments of doubt have cost you progress? Now ask yourself, what would happen if you just decided right now to move forward with full confidence? How much further would you be? It's time to trust yourself. It's time to act as if you are the best. Because the best don't waste time questioning their every move. They take bold steps. They learn and they grow. They do not wait for certainty. They create it. So make the decision. Stop overthinking. Stop hesitating. Whatever dream, goal, or vision you have, commit to it. Step forward with confidence. The world belongs to those who decide, those who commit, and those who execute. Be that person. And watch as your life transforms. 6. Persistence. Refuse to quit. No great success comes without obstacles. The road to achievement is never smooth. It is filled with failures, setbacks, and challenges designed to test your willpower. Every great winner in history, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, faced obstacles that would have broken an ordinary person. But they never stopped. They refused to surrender to failure. And that is what set them apart. Failure is not the end. It is a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of success. Edison failed over 1,000,000 times before he perfected the light bulb. Henry Ford went bankrupt multiple times before revolutionizing the automobile industry. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Yet none of them let failure define them. They understood a fundamental truth. As long as you keep moving forward, you never truly fail. One of the great examples of resilience comes from the 1930s during the Great Depression. Millions of people lost everything, jobs, homes, businesses. It was a time of immense suffering, but within that crisis lay an opportunity. Those who refused to quit, those who adapted, those who pushed forward despite the hardships, became the next wave of millionaires. The Great Depression justice fortunes, it created them. Because the people who kept going, the ones who refused to surrender, positioned themselves for success when the economy rebounded. They understood that adversity is temporary, but quitting is permanent. The lesson is clear. Success belongs to those who endure. When life knocks you down, you have two choices. Stay down or rise stronger. The world does not reward those who quit. It rewards those who persist. The most powerful mindset you can adopt is to act as if you cannot lose. When you remove quitting as an option, you force yourself to find solutions. You push through the pain, the failures, and the doubt until victory is the only outcome left. Look at any self-made success story and you will see the same pattern. Resilience, persistence, and an unbreakable belief in oneself. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is the ability to keep going when others stop. It is the ability to see failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. Ask yourself, how many times have you stopped short of success because things got too hard? How many dreams have you abandoned because the obstacles seemed too big? Now, imagine if you had kept going. Imagine where you would be if you refused to quit. You must train your mind to see obstacles as challenges, not barriers. The struggle is what shapes you. The pain is what strengthens you. Every time you push past a failure, you become stronger, smarter, and more prepared for the success that is coming your way. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when doubt creeps in, when you question if it's worth it. Those moments remind yourself, if you refuse to quit, you never truly fail. The only real failure is stopping before you reach the finish line. Everything else is just part of the journey. Success is reserved for those who persist. The winners of the world are not those who never failed. They are the ones who never let failure stop them. So, make the decision now. No matter what comes your way, no matter how hard it gets, commit to pushing forward. Act as if you cannot lose, because when quitting is not an option, success becomes inevitable. 7, Mastermind Group. Who you self with matters. One of the most powerful secrets of success is this. The people you surround yourself with will determine how far you go. No one succeeds alone. The greatest achievers in history did not reach their in isolation. They built strong networks, powerful alliances, and surrounded themselves with people who fueled their ambition. The most successful individuals understand the importance of association. They build mastermind groups, teams of like-minded individuals who challenge them, support them, and push them to the next level. These groups are not just social circles, they are incubators of success, where ideas are refined, strategies are developed, and mindsets are strengthened. When you surround yourself with winners, you start thinking, acting, and operating at a higher level. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how the people around you influence your mindset, habits, and ambitions? If you spend time with people who complain, make excuses, and accept mediocrity, you will unconsciously adopt their mindset. But if you surround yourself with people who think big, expect excellence, and constantly strive for more, you will naturally rise to their level. Look at the most successful figures in history. Henry Ford had Thomas Edison and other innovators in his circle. Despite their challenged each other to think bigger and innovate further. Success is not just about individual effort, it is about leveraging the power of association. The truth is, your environment shapes your reality. If you surround yourself with people who are complacent, your ambitions will shrink to fit that environment. But if you align yourself with those who are constantly striving for greatness, you will be pulled up to their level. Their energy, mindset, and drive will push you beyond your perceived limits. So how do you build a powerful network? How do you create your own mastermind group? First, seek out individuals who inspire you. Find people who have already achieved what you are striving for. Learn from them, study their habits, and if possible, connect with them. If you can't access them in person, absorb their wisdom through books, podcasts, or online content. Second, eliminate negative influences. You do not have to cut people out of your life completely, but you must protect your mind from toxic energy. Distance yourself from those who drain your motivation, who fill your head with doubt, or who encourage small thinking. Third, add value to those around you. Great relationships are built on mutual benefit. If you want to connect with powerful, successful individuals, ask yourself, what can I bring to the table? Offer insight, support, and encouragement. Become someone who uplifts others, and you will naturally attract high-caliber people into your life. Lastly, hold yourself to a higher standard. If you want to be in the presence of great minds, you must operate at their level. Expect excellence from yourself. Commit to growth. Never settle for average. Success is not just about talent or hard work. It is about positioning yourself in an environment that breeds greatness. If you surround yourself with small thinkers, your dreams will shrink. But if you surround yourself with giants, your vision will expand beyond limits. Remember this, the people around you either push you forward or pull you back. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with those who make you better and watch how far you go. 8. The subconscious mind controls it. It controls you. Your subconscious mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and failure, they will take root and flourish. But if you plant seeds of confidence, belief, and success, your life will transform in ways you never imagined. The thoughts you consistently feed your mind become the foundation of your reality. Most people go through life unaware of the power of their subconscious mind. They let negative thoughts, fears, and self-doubt dominate their mental space. They focus on problems instead of solutions. failures instead of opportunities. And just like weeds taking over a garden, these negative thoughts choke out any chance of success. But those who understand the power of the subconscious mind take control of their thoughts. They intentionally plant powerful, positive beliefs that lead to unstoppable momentum. Every single day, you must make a conscious effort to feed your mind with positivity. This is not just a feel-good exercise, it is a necessity. Your mind is constantly being influenced by the world around you. The news, social media, and even the people you interact with can plant seeds of fear, doubt, and limitation. If you do not take control of what enters your mind, negativity will take over by default. So what can you do? You must become the gatekeeper of your mind. Read inspiring books that expand your thinking. Listen to motivational speeches that ignite your passion. Surround yourself with people who uplift and challenge you. Drown out negativity, reject self-doubt, and immerse yourself in an environment that reinforces your belief in success. Successful people understand this principle. They do not allow negative thoughts to dictate their actions. They do not dwell on failures or past mistakes. Instead, they program their minds with thoughts of victory, resilience, and confidence. They visualize their success before it happens. They act as if success is guaranteed because they know that when the subconscious mind believes it, reality will shift to match that belief. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between reality and imagination. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you are a winner, that you are unstoppable, that success is inevitable, your mind will accept these statements as truth. And once your subconscious believes it, your actions, habits, and decisions will align with that belief. You will walk, talk, and think like a winner. You will attract opportunities that others miss. You will turn obstacles into stepping stones. This is not magic, it is psychology. Athletes use this technique to win championships. Entrepreneurs use it to build empires. Leaders use it to inspire nations. They understand that the battle is won in the mind before it is won in reality. Think about this. If you knew without a doubt that you would succeed, how would you act? Would you hesitate? Would you second guess yourself? Or would you move forward with unstoppable confidence? The answer is clear. When you truly believe in your success, you operate at a higher level. You make bolder decisions. You take smarter risks. You stay persistent even when faced with challenges. Your future is being shaped by the thoughts you plant today. Will you allow doubt and fear to grow, or will you take control and plant the seeds of confidence, determination, and success? The choice is yours. From this moment on, decide to be intentional with your thoughts. Speak success into existence. Act as if your dreams are already yours. Train your subconscious mind to expect greatness and watch as your reality transforms to match your belief. 9. The power of decisive action. During the 1930s, the world was in turmoil. The Great Depression had devastated economies, wiped out businesses, and left millions struggling to survive. Fear and uncertainty gripped the world, and most people hesitated, afraid to take action. Those who let fear control them ended up with nothing. They let opportunities pass them by, too afraid to take the risks necessary to change their circumstances. Meanwhile, a select few, the bold, the fearless, the action takers, saw the crisis as an opportunity. They moved with confidence, they took risks, and they ended up building fortunes while others remained stuck in fear. Look at the industrialists, the entrepreneurs, the investors of that era. While the masses hesitated, visionaries like Henry Ford, John D. Rockefeller, and Andrew Carnegie continued to push forward. They understood a fundamental law of success. Fortune favors the bold. Those who waited for the perfect moment were left behind, while those who seized opportunities, despite uncertainty, rose to greatness. The same principle applies today. Success is not those who hesitate, those who take massive action and who refuse to let fear dictate their decisions. The world does not reward inaction. It rewards those who step forward with confidence. So, what does this mean for you? It means that waiting is not an option. If you want to create success, you must act as if success is already yours. You must move with certainty. You must make decisions quickly, adjust when necessary, and never let hesitation paralyze you. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack the courage to take action. They overanalyze, they second-guess themselves, and in doing so, that's their moment. But when you understand No opportunity is ever perfect. There will always be risk. There will always be unknowns. But success belongs to those who push forward despite uncertainty. Take a look at the greatest entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders today. They don't hesitate. They invest in themselves. They trust their instincts. And because of that, they create opportunities where others see obstacles. They act with the confidence that success is inevitable, and their actions reflect that belief. So ask yourself, are you waiting for the right time? Are you letting fear hold you back, or are you ready to step up, take risks, and claim what is yours? If you want to win, you must make decisive action your habit. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Train yourself to move forward, even when the path isn't clear. Success is a mindset, and that mindset is built through action. Act as if you cannot fail. Move as if success is already guaranteed, because when you do, your actions will begin to align with that belief. The word win. Take bold action, make fearless moves, and doors of opportunity swing wide open for you. Fear is the single biggest enemy of success. It paralyzes, it destroys confidence, and it keeps people trapped in mediocrity. And in times of crisis, like the Great Depression, fear destroyed more dreams than failure ever could. It wasn't just the economic collapse that ruined lives, it was the fear that stopped people from taking action, from adapting, from pushing forward when it mattered most. Fear is a natural instinct. It is hardwired into our minds to protect us from danger. But in the modern world, fear is no longer just about survival. It has become a mental barrier that holds people back from success. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. These fears are not real dangers, yet they have the power to destroy ambitions, crush confidence, and keep people from ever realizing their potential. But the successful, the ones who rise above adversity, learn to transmute fear into power. They do not let fear stop them. Instead, they use it. They recognize fear as an indicator that they are stepping outside their comfort zone, that they are about to do something meaningful, something that has the power to change their lives. Rather than retreating, they use fear as a signal to take action. Think about it. Every great success story is filled with moments of fear. Entrepreneurs risking everything to start a business. Athletes stepping onto the field in front of thousands. Leaders making decisions that could shape history. They all feel fear, but they act anyway. They understand that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. So ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Failure? Judgment? Rejection? Good. That means you're on the right path. The things that scare you the most are usually the things that have the power to change your life. Fear is a sign that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself, and that is exactly where you need to be. The biggest mistake people make is believing that they need to eliminate fear before they can act. They wait to feel ready, to feel confident, but that moment never comes. Confidence is built through action. The only way to silence fear is to do the thing you're afraid of. Once you take the first step, fear loses its grip. The more you push through it, the weaker it becomes. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is simple. Successful people do what they fear. They don't let hesitation stop them. They understand that discomfort is part of the process, that growth requires risk. Every time they feel fear, they remind themselves that fear is a liar. It creates illusions of failure. But the only true failure is giving in to it. History proves this over and over. During the Great Depression, many people gave up, letting fear dictate their choices. But those who took risks, who invested, who adapted, those were the ones who built fortunes. Fear made the masses retreat, but the fearless moved forward, and the world rewarded them for it. The same rule applies today. The world belongs to those who take action, despite their fears. The ones who refuse to let fear control them are the ones who achieve greatness. They embrace the uncertainty. They move forward even when the outcome isn't guaranteed, and because of that, they win. So, what will you do? Will you let fear define your life, or will you use it as fuel? The choice is yours. Feel the fear, but act anyway, because on the other side of fear is everything you've ever wanted. And only those who push through will ever get to see it. The world will never believe in you if you don't believe in yourself first. Act as if you are the best. Walk like it. Speak like it, work like it, and soon enough the world will have no choice but to see you that way. Success is not about luck, it's about decision, and today I challenge you to decide. Are you going to think and grow rich, or are you going to wait for success to come to you? The choice is yours. Now act like you are the best, and go claim your success.
Do you need more power, more control? Then you need VPS.
Sometimes people ask me, when did you start talking to your guides? And at first I would have a specific event. Oh, I remember when I was 28, this thing happened.
I tell you with complete certainty the thing you have been seeking is, at this very moment, seeking you. The desire that burns within your heart was planted there by the divine, and that same divinity is now orchestrating all events, all circumstances, all seeming to deliver unto you the perfect expression of that desire. Let us begin with the fundamental truth, a truth that many of you have heard me speak of before, but which bears repeating, for it is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. You are God, not a part of God, not a creation separate from God, but God individualized. I and my Father are one, said the greatest teacher who ever walked this earth. He did not say I and my Father are two, working together. No, he claimed complete unity with the divine power that creates and sustains all things. And what is God? God is your own wonderful human imagination. That is the creative power in the universe. There is no other God. Will you imagine a state and assume the feeling of that state is already realized? You are literally God in action, creating the conditions and events that must follow from that state. So when I tell you that everything you've been waiting for is coming, I am not speaking of some vague future possibility. I am speaking of an absolute law, as certain as gravity, as reliable as the rising of the sun. The law of assumption states that if you assume you are what you want to be, and continue in that assumption, it must harden into fact in your outer world. Consider for a moment the things you've been waiting for. Perhaps it's financial abundance, a loving relationship, perfect provision for your talents, or a sense of the purpose of fulfillment. Whatever it may be, know this, the mere fact that you can conceive of these things means they already exist in what we might call the fourth dimensional reality, the realm of imagination, which is the very substance of God. Your task then not to make these happen through effort, and consciousness from where you are to where you desire to be. You must mentally live in your wish fulfilled. You must, through the controlled use of your imagination, assume the feeling of already being the person who has what you desire. Let me share with you a secret that has transformed countless lives. The secret. It is not enough to merely visualize what you want or to affirm it with your lips. You must capture and maintain the feeling of already having it. For feeling is the language that speaks to the subconscious, and the subconscious is the creative power that shapes your world. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I have tried this, and my desire has not materialized. To you I say this, revision is necessary. You must go back and revise the experiences that have convinced you of lack, of impossibility, of unworthiness. For as long as those beliefs persist in your subconscious, they will continue to project themselves into your world. Tonight I invite you to a new practice. When you return to your home, sit quietly in your room. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what is it that I truly desire? Allow the answer to come from the depths of your being. Then, with your eyes still closed, construct a scene in your imagination that would imply the fulfillment of that desire. Perhaps it is a friend congratulating you, or simply the feeling of deep satisfaction and contentment that would accompany your desire's fulfillment. Now enter that scene. Make it as real as possible in your imagination. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures, and most importantly, feel the emotions that would be yours in that moment of fulfillment. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the peace, the love. Feel it so intensely that when you open your eyes, a part of you knows with unshakable certainty that what you have imagined is now in the process of becoming your physical reality. Do this night after night and you will be preparing yourself for the manifestation that is already on its way to you. For make no mistake, my dear friends, the law is always working. just as the law of gravity operates, whether you believe in it or not. The law of assumption is constantly shaping your experience according to the state you have assumed. Now let us speak of preparation. How does one prepare for the arrival of their heart's desire? First, by understanding the nature of time. In this three-dimensional world, events seem to unfold sequentially, creating the illusion of past, present, and future. But in the fourth dimension, in the realm of imagination, all possible states exist simultaneously. When you enter a state in your imagination, you are actually selecting one of these already existing states
Ready to go.
and bringing it into your three-dimensional experience.
Hello.
The time it takes for your imagined state to materialize in your physical
How's my
reality
guy?
is directly proportional to the naturalness of the state you assume.
Alright.
This is why feeling is so crucial.
Not
The more naturally you
Turn
can
off
feel
the
yourself
phone.
to be the person who already has what you desire, the more rapidly that desire will clothe itself in civil form. So preparation begins with cultivating patience and faith. Patience because seed time and harvest is a law of nature. You cannot plant a seed and expect it to bear fruit the same day. And faith,
okay. Good morning. I am. I become. Brave and strong. Focus goes. Hey, my guy. Did you get your homework done last night? Did mommy sign your paper? You ready for some breakfast? Brush your teeth, wash your face. What you wearing today? You gonna wear something nice? Gonna put on something fly with your J's? Hey, buddy. I love you, man. Okaya. Say, I am learning. I am athletic. Say, I am athletic. Okaya. Sit up and talk properly on the phone. Say, I am athletic. Say, I am smart. I am strong. I am ready to win today. That's what I'm talking about. I like how you said that last one. Put a little bass in your voice. Alright, my boy. Alright, so let's go. Let's go. Alright, man, I love you. Talk to you later. Kaya. I love you, buddy. Talk to you later, okay?
because you must trust the process even when your senses deny the reality of your assumption. I have witnessed countless manifestations in my own life and in the lives of those who have applied this law. Let me share with you a story that illustrates this principle. A gentleman once came to me in dire financial straits. He had lost his business, was deeply in debt, and could see no way out of his predicament. I instructed him to imagine just before sleep each night that he was counting out large sums of money, feeling the crisp in between his fingers, and experiencing the relief and joy of financial abundance. 2 weeks passed, and nothing changed in his outer circumstances. 3 weeks and still nothing. But he persisted in his imaginal act. Then, at the end of the month, he received a phone call from a former business associate whom he had not spoken to in years. This associate proposed a partnership that, within 6 months, restored my friend to a state of financial prosperity, far exceeding what he'd known before. This is the law in operation. The seed was planted in imagination, it grew in the darkness of the subconscious, and it manifested in perfect...
Now say your kid spills juice on your shirt. You just toss it in the wash with an earth-free sheet.
perfect time through channels that the conscious mind could never have conceived. So I say to you, everything you've been waiting for is coming. It is already on its way. But you must prepare yourself by living from the end, by occupying the state of consciousness that would be yours if your desires were already fulfilled. Now there's another aspect of preparation that I must address, and it is perhaps the most important of all. You must be willing to let go of your old concept of self. For many person you belong to the circumstances you currently experience. To manifest a new reality, you must be willing to become a new self. This is the true meaning of and rebirth. It is not the physical body that must die, but rather the old concept of self. You must die to your present self-concept to be reborn as a self that aligns with your nature. This can be challenging, this change. It clings to the familiar, or limiting. But I assure you, fear for what awaits you on the other side is the fulfillment of all that you have ever dreamed. Let me be very clear about this law of assumption. It is not mere positive thinking or wishful fantasizing. It is the deliberate use of your imagination to select and occupy a state of consciousness. When this is done with feeling and persistence, the outer world must rearrange itself to reflect your inner reality. Think of it this way. Your consciousness is like a radio dial. On that dial are infinite stations, each one broadcasting a different version of reality. The station you are tuned to right now is broadcasting your current life circumstances. To change those circumstances, you must tune the dial to a different station, one that is broadcasting the reality you desire to experience. The tuning is done through your imagination, guided by feeling. When you imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire, and when you feel the emotions that such fulfillment bring, you are turning the dial to a new station. Persist in this new frequency, and your outer world will shift to match it. Now some of you may wonder about the role of action in this process. Must you not also take action to realize your desires? The truth is that inspired action will flow naturally from your changed consciousness. When you genuinely assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally doing the things that someone in that state would do. Moreover, doors will open that were previously closed to you. Opportunities will present themselves that your logical mind could never have devised. People will be drawn to you who can assist in the manifestation of your desire. All of this happens not because you are forcing it through willpower, but because you have changed your state of consciousness, and your outer world must conform to that inner change. Let me give you another illustration from my own experience. Many years ago, I desired to travel to Barbados to visit my family. However, I had no money for passage, and the wartime restrictions made civilian travel difficult. Rather than focusing on these obstacles, I went to sleep each night imagining that I was sleeping in my childhood home in Barbados. I could feel the tropical breeze, hear the familiar sounds, and experience the joy of being with my loved ones. Within a few weeks, I received a letter from my brother containing money for passage. And shortly thereafter, I was granted a spot on a ship bound for Barbados, despite the wartime restrictions on civilian travel. The outer circumstances rearranged themselves to match my inner assumption. This is the promise I make to you tonight. Whatever you have been waiting for, be it love, wealth, health, or any other desire of your heart, it is coming to you now. But you must prepare yourself by assuming the feeling of its fulfillment, by living from the state of consciousness of having already received it. Let us delve deeper into this preparation. for it is multifaceted and requires a certain discipline of mind. The first aspect of preparation is mental. You must clean the windows of your mind, clear away the accumulated dust of limiting beliefs and negative assumptions. Begin by watching your thoughts and the words you speak. Are they aligned with your desire or do they contradict it? Do you affirm abundance while secretly harboring thoughts of lack? Do you speak of health while dwelling on symptoms of illness? This divided mind cannot manifest effectively. As it is written, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. To prepare your mind, practice what I call mental dieting. Just as you would carefully select the food you put into your body for optimal health, so must you carefully select the thoughts you allow to dwell in your mind. Feed your mind with thoughts of the wish fulfilled. Starve your mind of thoughts that contradict your desire. When negative thoughts arise, and they will, for the old habits of mind do not surrender easily, do not fight them or suppress them. Simply observe them without judgment, and then deliberately replace them with thoughts that support your new assumption. The second aspect of preparation is emotion. As I have emphasized, feeling is the secret. You must cultivate the emotional state that would be yours if your desire were already fulfilled. This requires emotional discipline and awareness. Many of you live in a constant state of emotional reaction to external circumstances. Something happens, and you react with anger, fear, disappointment, or resentment. This reactive pattern keeps you bound to your current reality. To break free, you must become the master of your emotional state, choosing it deliberately rather than having it dictated by circumstances. Practice feeling the emotions of your wish fulfilled regardless of what your senses report. Feel the security of financial abundance even when your bank account is empty. Feel the love and companionship of a harmonious relationship even when you appear to be alone. Feel the vitality and energy of perfect health even when your body seems to contradict this. The third aspect of preparation is spiritual. By this I do not mean religious in the conventional sense, but rather the recognition of your true identity as a spiritual being, as God individualized in human form. The greatest barrier to manifesting your desires is the belief in separation, the belief that you are separate from your good, separate from other people, separate from God. This belief in separation is the root of all fear, all lack, all conflict. To prepare spiritually is to embrace the truth of your oneness with all that is. It is to recognize that the power that created the universe is not outside of you, but within.
How often do you think about your poop? Now, some people think about their poop a lot, others not so much. Did you know that every time?
But within you, expressing as you. It is your very consciousness, your awareness, your I am. When you truly understand this, you will no longer beg or plead for your good to come to you from some external source. You will know that all that you desire already exists within you as a state of consciousness, waiting to be assumed and expressed. The fourth aspect of preparation is physical. Your physical body and environment are the dense, most external expressions of your consciousness. As such, they often lag behind your mental and emotional shifts. This is why patience is necessary. However, you can support the manifestation process by bringing your physical environment into alignment with your assumption. Clear out the clutter that represents your old life. Create space for the new to enter. Dress, speak, and carry yourself as the person who already has what you desire. This is not pretense or fakery. It is the outer expression of an inner conviction. It is living from the end, embodying the state you wish to manifest. Now let us address a question that often arises: what about the desires of others? What if what you want conflicts with what someone else wants? Remember that in the realm of creation, there is no competition, no scarcity, no conflict of interests. When you operate from the level of the imagination, which is the level of God, you are not taking from anyone else. You are selecting from the infinite variety of already existing states. Moreover, when you assume a state of consciousness that includes harmonious relationships and mutual benefit, that is what you will experience. If you assume the state of having what you want at the expense of others, that conflict will manifest in your experience. This is why I advocate assuming states of consciousness that embody the highest good for all concerned. Imagine not only your own joy and fulfillment, but also the joy and fulfillment of everyone involved in your manifestation. Let me share with you another principle that will help you in preparing for the arrival of your desire. It is the principle of detachment. or what some might call letting go. Many of you hold on to your desires with such desperation, such anxiety about whether or when they will manifest, that you actually push them away. This anxious attachment comes from the belief that what you want is separate from you and might elude your grasp. True manifestation requires a certain detachment, not from the desire itself, but from the anxious need to control the timing and the means of its fulfillment. When you have truly assumed the state of the wish fulfilled, you can relax in the certainty that the outer reality must conform to your inner assumption in its own perfect time and way. This detachment is not indifference. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing the law and trusting its operation. It is the peace of mind that allows you to get on with your daily life, secure in the knowledge that your new reality is already established in consciousness and is now moving toward you in the world of form. Now I want to address something that many of you struggle with: the appearance of obstacles or delays in the manifestation of your desire. When your outer world seems to contradict your inner assumption, it is easy to become discouraged and to doubt the law. But I tell you this, what appears as an obstacle or delay is often the very means by which your desire will be fulfilled. The bridge of incidents that leads to your manifestation may include elements that your limited perspective seem to be taking you further away from your goal. This is where faith becomes essential, not blind faith in some external power, but faith in the law, faith in the creative power of your own consciousness. Trust that the seed you have planted in the garden of your mind is growing, even when you cannot yet see the sprout above the soil. And remember this, the manifestation always comes in ways that you could not have planned with your conscious mind. If you try to dictate exactly how your desire should manifest, you limit the infinite intelligence that is orchestrating the perfect unfoldment of your assumption. So release all anxiety about the how and the when. Your job is to maintain the state of consciousness of the wish fulfilled. The law will take care of the rest, bringing your desire to you through the path of least resistance, which may not be the path you would have consciously chosen. Let me give you yet another example from my own experience. There was a time when I desired to be invited to speak at a certain prestigious venue, rather than focusing on all the reasons why this seemed unlikely. I simply imagined hearing the director of the venue introducing me to the audience. I felt the satisfaction and gratitude of this experience in my imagination. A few weeks passed, and I received no invitation. Then, seemingly unrelated to my desire, I was invited to speak at a small gathering in a private home. I accepted, though it appeared to have nothing to do with my original wish. At this gathering was a guest who, unknown to me, was a close friend of the director of the prestigious venue I had imagined speaking at. This guest was so moved by my talk that they recommended me to the director, and within a month I received the invitation I had imagined. Had I been fixated on a direct invitation coming from the director, I might have declined the seemingly insignificant invitation to speak at the private home, thereby missing the bridge of insights that was leading to the fulfillment of my desire. This is why I counsel you to release all preconceptions about how your good will come to you. Trust the law, maintain your assumption, and allow the infinite intelligence to work out the details. Now, as we approach the close of our time together, I want to address one final aspect of preparation that is often overlooked but is absolutely crucial. It is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is the feeling that completes the manifestation cycle. When you express gratitude for something, you are affirming its reality in your experience. Gratitude is the recognition that what you have asked for has already been given. Begin now to give thanks for the fulfillment of your desire, even before it appears in your three-dimensional reality. Thank your Father, which is your own magnificent human imagination, for having already granted your request. This is not pretense. It is recognition of the truth that in the fourth dimensional reality, where your imagination dwells, your desire is already fulfilled. Your gratitude acknowledges this truth and helps to bring it into your three-dimensional experience. Make gratitude a daily practice. Each night before you sleep, review.
So, You've just finished writing your book and are ready to share it with the world. But wait, what's the best?
Review the day as if your desire had already been fulfilled. Feel the gratitude that such fulfillment would inspire. Let that feeling of gratitude be the last emotion you experience before drifting into sleep, for the subconscious is most receptive in those moments before slumber. And as you awaken each morning, let your first thought be one of gratitude for the fulfillment of your desire. In this way, you create a consciousness saturated with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and this consciousness must externalize itself in your world. My dear friends, I have shared with you tonight the truth that everything you've been waiting for is coming to you now. I have explained the law by which this manifestation occurs, the law of assumption, and I have outlined the ways in which you can prepare yourself to receive your heart's desire. Let me summarize these principles once more. Be firmly established in your understanding. First, you are not individual. The creative power of the universe is your own human imagination. Second, to manifest your desire, you must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feeling is the secret that speaks to the subconscious, which is the creative power. Third, prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically for the manifestation of your desire. Live from the end, embodying the state of consciousness that would be yours if your desire were already fulfilled. Fourth, release anxiety about the timing and the means of manifestation. Trust the law, knowing that the bridge of incidents is being built to bring your desire to you in divine order. Fifth, practice gratitude for the fulfillment of your desire, affirming its reality in the fourth dimension, which is the realm of imagination. As you leave this place tonight and return to your homes, I challenge you to put these principles into practice. Select one desire, the thing you want most at this moment, and begin to live as if it were already yours. Feel the emotions it would inspire. Express the gratitude it would evoke. Embody the state of consciousness it would create. Do this consistently, persistently, faithfully. And I promise you that your outer world will reshape itself to match your inner assumption. For this is the law, and the law is absolute. Everything you've been waiting for is coming to you now. Prepare yourself by becoming in consciousness the person who already has it. For what you are, in consciousness, you must manifest and experience. The world is yourself pushed out. Change yourself and you change your world. This is the great secret, the great revelation, the great law by which all things come into being. Go now in the knowledge of your divinity, in the certainty of the law, and in the joyful expectation of the manifestation of all that your heart desires. For truly all things are possible to him who believes. Remember, creation is finished. All states exist now. Your task is not to create what you want, but to appropriate what already exists. And you do this through the assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Tonight, as you lay your head on your pillow, I want you to make this your practice. Enter into the silence of your own being. Construct a scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. Enter that scene. Make it real. Feel it. Believe it. Accept it as true. Fall asleep in that state. And watch as the power that is your own wonderful human imagination goes to work, reshaping your world to match your assumption. For the law is this, as within, so without. As above, so below. What you assume, you become. What you believe, you receive. What you expect, you experience. Everything you've been waiting for is coming. It is already yours in consciousness. Now, through your faithful assumption, it will become yours in experience. My blessing goes with you. May you use law wisely, lovingly, and joyfully for the enrichment of your own life and the lives of all those you touch. The greatest secret, the most profound about how God introduces you to your soulmate. God does not mean at all for God ISU, and you are already creating this divine union in your imagination, whether you realize it or not. The true nature of God and your imagination. Let me begin by clarifying what I mean when I speak of God. I am not referring to some external deity sitting on a throne in the distant heavens, manipulating the circumstances of your life according to some mysterious plan. No. When I speak of God, I am referring to the divine presence that dwells within you, your own wonderful human imagination. Your imagination is God in action. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word here is not some abstract concept, but the internal conversation you carry on with yourself day after day. It is this inner conversation, this use of your divine imagination, that is creating every circumstance in your life, including the arrival of your soulmate. You see, most people have it entirely backward. They believe that God, as some external force, will somehow orchestrate the perfect meeting with their ideal partner when the time is right. They wait and they pray and they hope, looking outward for signs, when all along the creative power lies within them. They are waiting for a God outside themselves to perform an act that only the God within them, their own wonderful human imagination, can perform. The LA and the promise. There are two aspects to this divine operation, what I call the law and the promise. The law is this: imagining creates reality. Whatever you assume to be true, whatever you feel to be real while in a state akin to sleep, that is, while your attention is focused exclusively on your inner world, must objectify itself in your outer world. This is not some metaphysical speculation, but a principle as reliable as gravity. It cannot fail. The promise is that you will awaken to the realization that you are God, the sole creator of your life experience. When it comes to your soulmate, both the law and the promise are at work. Through the law, you can manifest the specific relationship your heart desires. Through the promise, you will eventually realize that this outer relationship is but a reflection of an inner unit that has already taken place. The creative power of imagination. Now let us explore how this creative power, your imagination, actually works to bring your soulmate into your life. Most people think that what they observe in their world is the cause of what they feel.
It is incredible how many things you wrote about, things that were undeniably, even obviously true, but that most Americans simply would never, ever believe. So take the fraudulent accounting at General Electric, something you warned about for more than a decade before that company's debt implosion. That was General Electric. Now, most investors got this.
The right one, then they will feel love, complete, fulfilled, completely backward. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is not the result of having found your soulmate. Feeling is the cause that brings your soulmate to you. Let me repeat that. Feeling is not the effect, feeling is the cause. You must first generate within yourself the feeling that would naturally follow having already met and united with your soulmate. You must live from the end. What does it feel like to be in the perfect relationship? Is it a feeling of security, passion, of being completely understood, of peaceful companionship? Whatever that feeling is for you, you must capture it and dwell in it, knowing that this feeling is the creative force that will rearrange the circumstances of your life to match it. But you might ask, Neville, how can I feel that which has not yet happened? And I would answer, your imagination is the bridge. Through the controlled use of your imagination, you can experience now what your senses deny. This is the true meaning of faith, the substance of things hoped for, things not seen, living from the end. Indication of what I am telling you tonight as you lie in your... You reach that drowsy, sleepy state just before... In this state, construct a scene that implies you have already found and united with your soulmate. Perhaps you imagine lying beside them, feeling their presence, their warmth. Perhaps you imagine introducing them to a friend or family member with wife. Imagine anniversary, looking back on years. Whatever scene you choose, it must imply that the relationship is already a fact. And as you construct this scene, involve all your senses. Embrace, voice, smell their scent, see their scent, as possible in your imagination. And most importantly, capture and intensify the feeling that this scene evokes within you. Then, as you drift off to sleep, carry this feeling with you. Let it be the last thing in your consciousness that sleep claims you. For it is this feeling impressed upon your subconscious mind that will work magic and day to bring about its physical equivalent in your world, the Sabbath. And once you have performed this imaginative act, you must enter what the Bible calls the Sabbath. The Sabbath, a day of peace. You cease from all effort. What you have imagined must come to pass. To enter the Sabbath means to live as though your desire has already been fulfilled. You don't continue to ask or beg or plead for your soulmate to appear, for that would imply they are absent. Instead, you give thanks for their presence in your life, even though your senses may not yet confirm it. This is perhaps the most difficult part for most people. They perform the imaginative act, and then they look to the world for confirmation. When they don't see immediate results, they become anxious, doubtful, and begin the whole process again, never allowing the seed they have planted to grow to full manifestation. But I tell you this, God promises us an amen. What you have conceived in your imagination, with feeling, must objectify itself in your in the assumption that what you have imagined is already conversations. Now let me speak about something that many of you may not have considered your inner conversations. Throughout the day, you are constantly talking to yourself, carrying on internal dialogues. These inner conversations are powerful creative forces. When it comes to your soulmate, your inner conversation, you tell yourself, I'll never find the right person. You rehearse past disappointments and project them into your future. You constantly question why you are still alone. If so, you are using your creative power, the God, within you to perpetuate the state you wish to escape. Instead, revise your inner conversation. Speak to yourself as though your soulmate is already part of your life. Let your inner voice say, I am so grateful for the love we share, or how wonderful it is to be so perfectly matched. Make these new thought patterns a habit, and you will be amazed at how quickly your external reality begins to shift. Remember, your consciousness is only reality. The world you experience is simply consciousness objectified. Change your consciousness through your controlled imagination and revised inner conversations, and you change your world. The bridge of incidents. Now, when you have properly impressed your subconscious mind with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, a bridge of incidents will form to lead you to the physical realization of your desire. This bridge of incidents is a series of apparently causally connected events that lead to the manifestation of your desire. You need not be concerned with how this bridge will form. That is not your responsibility. The infinite intelligence within you, which is God, knows how to bring about the perfect circumstances to you. It may not happen in the way you expect. In fact, it rarely does. Meet this person in the most unlikely place, under the most unusual circumstances. What appears to be a chance encounter will be revealed in retrospect as part of an intricate and perfect plan that was set in motion the moment you impressed your subconscious mind with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is how God, your own wonderful human imagination, introduces you to your soulmate. Not through external manipulation of consciousness, which then objectifies itself, recognizing your soulmate. Many wonder how they will recognize they appear. They fear they might miss the divine appointment or mistake someone else for their true match. But I tell you this, when you have properly used your imagination to impress the feeling of the wish fulfilled upon your subconscious mind, recognition will be automatic and mutual. For what you are really doing through this process is not so much attracting a specific person as you are attracting a specific...
I'm just kidding. Welcome to Possible.
...state of consciousness, as you dwell in the feeling of having already found your perfect match. You are vibrating at the frequency of that fulfilled relationship. And only someone who is vibrating at that same frequency can come into your experience as a permanent fixture. This is why false relationships so often fail. When we try to make someone fit our idea of the perfect partner without having first established within ourselves the consciousness of the perfect relationship, we are working against the law, not with it. Your soulmate is not so much a specific individual as they are the perfect embodiment of the state of consciousness you have established within yourself. Change your consciousness, and you change who can appear in your world as a match. The naturalness of the process. I want to emphasize the naturalness of this process. When you have successfully impressed your subconscious mind with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the manifestation of your soulmate will unfold in the most natural way imaginable. There will be no strain, no struggle. It will not feel like a miracle, though in retrospect, you may marvel at the perfect orchestration of events that brought you together. This is because the outer world is a mirror reflecting back to you your own consciousness. When your consciousness is filled with the feeling of having already found your soulmate, the mirror must reflect that back to you in the form of an actual relationship. It cannot do otherwise, for that is the law. So do not look for signs or omens or synchronicities. Do not try to force meetings or manipulate circumstances. Simply dwell in the consciousness of the wish fulfilled and let the law do its perfect work. The signs and synchronicities will come of their own accord as confirmation, not as causes of the manifestation that is already underway. The importance of self-love. Now, there is an aspect of this process that is often overlooked but is absolutely crucial: self-love. For the state of consciousness that manifests your soulmate must include a deep and abiding love for yourself. Without this foundation, no lasting union is possible. Many seek a soulmate to fill a void within themselves, to complete what they perceive as lacking. But I tell you, from the state of lack, you can only create more lack. It is only from the state of wholeness that you can create a whole and fulfilling relationship. So before you enter into the imagination session I described earlier, first establish within yourself a feeling of self-completeness. Recognize that the God within you, your own wonderful human imagination, is the source of all love, all fulfillment. You are not seeking someone to complete you. You are seeking someone with whom to share your completeness. This shift in consciousness is subtle but profound. It changes the entire vibration of your being and attracts a completely different quality of relationship than the one sought from a place of lack or need. Revision of the past. For some of you, past relationships have left scars that make it difficult to imagine and feel the reality of a fulfilling soulmate connection. If this is the case, you must use the principle of revision to heal these wounds. Revision is the art of mentally rewriting past events to align with your desires. Before you can effectively impress upon your subconscious mind the feeling of a perfect soulmate relationship, you may need to revise the memories that contradict this new assumption. Each night before you enter your imagination, focused on your soulmate, take a few moments to memories. Reimagine them as you wish they had happened. Feel the relief, the joy, the closure that comes with this revised version. Do this consistently, and you will find that the emotional charge of these memories begins to fade, making room for your new assumptions about love and partnership to take root. The divine timing. Many of you may be wondering about timing. When will my soulmate appear? Is a question I hear often. But I must tell you that time is a concept that exists only in the world of effects, not in the world of causes. In the realm of imagination, which is the causal realm, there is no time. There is only the state of consciousness that you occupy. The appearance of your soulmate in your physical reality is subject to what the Bible calls the fullness of time. This means that the manifestation will occur when all the necessary components have aligned, when your consciousness is stable in the assumption of the wish fulfilled, when the bridge of incidents has been properly constructed, and when both you and your soulmate are vibrating at frequencies that allow for the divine union. This is not to say that manifestation must take a long time. I have witnessed cases where soulmates have appeared within days of a successful imaginative act. I have also seen cases where the manifestation took months or even years. The variable is not God's willingness to grant your desire for God. Your own wonderful human imagination has already granted it the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The variable is your ability to maintain that assumption consistently, without contradiction, until it hardens into fact. Testing the LRO. Well, I encourage you to test this law for yourself. Do not take my word for it. The Bible says, taste and see that the Lord is good. Experience for yourself the creative power of your own imagination. Tonight, as you lie in bed, construct a scene that implies you have already found and united with your soulmate. Feel the reality of it. Fall asleep in that feeling for 30 consecutive nights, without wavering, without looking for results, simply as an experiment in consciousness. At the end of those days, that seed in the fertile soul's mind that must, by law, manifestation of your revise your inner conversations to align with this new assumption. Speak to yourself as though your is already part of your life. Then release all anxiety about when or how they will appear. Enter the Sabbath, that state of complete rest, in the knowledge that what you have in mind must come to pass. Live as though your desire is already fulfilled. For in the realm of imagination, which is the only reality it is, the transformation of consciousness. What I am describing to you is not just a technique for manifesting a soulmate. It is a complete transformation of consciousness. As you apply these principles to this specific desire, you find that your entire life begins to transform. For you cannot dwell in the consciousness of being loved, cherished, and perfectly matched without that consciousness.
No one seems to know this, but Amazon actually has a $50 million fund that they have to pay out every...
Spilling over into all areas of your life. Your relationships with family and friends will improve. You'll become more... Your health may even show signs of improvement. This is because you are aligning with the truth of your being that you are God, expressing as the specific individual you perceive yourself to be. This transformation of consciousness is the real miracle, far more significant than the appearance of any specific person in your life. But when you realize that you are the operant power in your world, that your imagination creates reality, you are free from victim consciousness forever. You no longer see yourself as subject to external forces, waiting for fate or chance to bring you what you desire. You recognize yourself as the author of your... And from this elevated state of consciousness, your soulmate appears not as someone who will save you or complete you, but as the perfect reflection of the divine love you have awakened within yourself. This is the true divine union, not the union of two incomplete parts, but the union of two whole beings who recognize in each other the God that they themselves are. Persistence. For many of you will begin this practice with great enthusiasm, only to abandon it when results do not immediately appear. This is the pattern I have observed in countless students over the years. They start with conviction but lack the persistence to see their desires through to manifestation. Faith is not a momentary surge of belief. It is the persistent occupation of the desired state. It is the unwavering confidence that what you have imagined and felt as real in your imagination must objectify itself in your physical reality. This kind of faith is rare, but it is the key to successful manifestation. When doubts arise, and they will arise, do not fight them or deny them. Simply observe them, and then gently return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Each time you successfully return to that feeling despite contrary evidence, you strengthen the impression on your subconscious mind, bringing the manifestation closer. Remember the story of the fig tree in the Bible. Jesus cursed it, and it appeared unchanged. But he did not doubt his word. He continued on his way, confident that what he had decreed must come to pass. And when they passed by the fig tree again, it had withered from the roots. This is the model of perfect faith, speaking the word and then proceeding in the absolute confidence that it will manifest regardless of appearances. The role of gratitude. As you walk this path toward the manifestation of your soulmate, let gratitude be your constant companion. Gratitude is the highest vibration, the most magnetic attitude of mind. When you are grateful for your soulmate before they physically appear, you are functioning at the highest spiritual level. Each night as you perform your imaginative scene, conclude it with deep and sincere gratitude. Thank God your own wonderful human imagination for having already granted your desire. Feel the gratitude that naturally accompanies the receipt of something precious and long desired. This attitude of gratitude accelerates manifestation because it affirms that what you have imagined is already yours. It closes the gap between your desire and its fulfillment. bringing them together in the eternal now. The signs following. Although I have cautioned you against looking for signs, it is natural that as your manifestation approaches physical realization, certain signs will begin to appear. You may find yourself randomly thinking about love and relationships more often. You may notice happy couples everywhere you go. You may even have dreams of your soulmate before you meet them physically. These signs are not the cause of your manifestation, but the effects of your changed consciousness. They are confirmations that the bridge of incidents is under construction. Welcome them, but do not become attached to them. They are signposts along the way, not the destination itself. And when your soulmate does appear in your life, it will seem so natural, so perfect, that you may temporarily forget the work you did to bring them to you. This too is part of the process. For the law works best when it seems not to be working at all, when manifestation appears to be the result of natural causes rather than spiritual law. But in quiet moments of reflection, you will recognize the truth, that this divine union was orchestrated not by some external deity, but by the God within you, your own wonderful human imagination. And in this recognition lies a power and a freedom beyond anything you have previously known. The perfection of the all. I want to address a concern that many have expressed to me over the years. They worry that if they use their imagination to manifest a specific type of person as their soulmate, they might somehow interfere with free will or divine order. But this concern is based on a misunderstanding of the law. The law of assumption does not override anyone's free will. It simply draws to you the people and circumstances that align with your state of consciousness.
What the hell are you talking about?
Your soulmate is drawn to you by the same law that draws you to them.
Yo, show, what's
Their
going
appearance in
on?
your life
You
is as
okay?
much
All
their
right this
manifestation
morning?
as it is yours. This is the perfect operation of divine law. You are not forcing anyone to be with you against their will. You are simply aligning yourself with the state of consciousness in
Listen,
which your
God
soul
bless
is
you.
already present. And from that state, the law works to bring together those who are
The
vibrating
best
at
of your
compatible
days will be the
frequencies.
worst of your tomorrows.
So release all
Whatever's
concerns
going
about
on with you
interfering
this
with the
morning, you'll
natural
be
order.
all right.
There is no order more natural than that established by your own divine imagination. Trust in the perfection of the law
You do the dash over
and allow
there,
it to work its wonders in your life. The evolution of the relationship. Now, once your soulmate has appeared in your life, the work of imagination does not cease. For relationships are dynamic, evolving entities. The same law that brings you together will keep you in harmony and deepen your connection as you continue to use your imagination constructively. If challenges arise, as they do in even the most divinely orchestrated unions, return to your imagination. Construct scenes that imply the resolution of these challenges. Feel the relief, the renewed harmony and understanding. Fall asleep in this feeling and watch as your relationship transforms to match your imagined state. This ongoing use of imagination is the secret to a relationship that continues to grow.
Hey, have you ever been told you have a nice voice? Well, what if I told you you could turn your voice into actual money? Sound too good to be true? Well, come closer. I'm a fat
And thrive through the years. For the law never ceases to operate. What you continue to imagine and feel as real will continue to objectify itself in your experience. The ultimate revelation. And now I come to the ultimate revelation about the relationship you seek in the external world is a reflection of a union that must first be consummated within your own being. Reflected back to you, the companionship you with the God within you, made tangible in the form of another person. When you fully realize this truth, you understand that the purpose of the is not merely personal happiness, but spiritual awakening. Through the mirror of relationship, you come to know yourself as God, the creator of your reality.
What's up, you all right? driving. I can hardly hear you. Oh, you can sleep anyway. Well, I know I can. Just gotta close your eyes and forget where you at. That's all right. That's all right. That happens all the time. Every year around the same time, the same things happen. That don't change nothing. You don't need to worry about none of these things. She's taking her time. All you gotta do is relax. What's the point of being stressed, right? You're gonna go this whole ride and stress yourself out and ain't nothing gonna happen. Might as well relax. Enjoy that ride. Take that nap. Let the vibrations and the undulations of the road take you away into that nice dreamland. Maybe that's your mind and your body playing tricks on you. Just because you see snow and ice doesn't mean you're slipping and sliding. Hey. Yep, just take your time. Everything will be alright, nice and smooth. So it looks like you got good tires. Yeah, as long as you go at a decent speed, no abrupt movements, you'll be fine. That is some crazy weather right there. You must when you oh you said you were over by log. No, Green River. Okay. All right. So you're going through the canyons, twisting and turns is coming up. So your elevation is pretty high too. So when you come back down, it might stop snowing. Yeah, Nat, just relax. I've been sleeping. That's it. Well, what's gonna happen? You gotta relax. You gotta try harder because you're gonna have to drive again, right? Pulling all nighter, I get it. And you're getting closer to it. impressive.